everybody, this is D Hunter, bringing another action figure review. Today, we're going to look at the NECA Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, The Last Ronin, and this is the unarmored version. I found this guy at Walmart. The Last Ronin is basically a story where one of the turtles survives. It's in a post-apocalyptic future. I'm not sure which turtle this is supposed to be. So let's take a look at the packaging. As you can see at the top, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, The Last Ronin, Unarmored, Nickelodeon. Here he is standing there. One side, got a drawing of the Last Ronin turtle. The back, you see a bunch of different accessories, a bunch of different display options. There is a description, if you want to read that. Go ahead and pause now. This is one of NECA's ultimate figures. Window box packaging, you can hear the Velcro. On the inside flap, here's the Last Ronin turtle, and then here he is in the package. Comes with a ton of accessories. I notice he has weapons from each of the 4 turtles. So no further ado, let's open him up. And in the meantime, I went ahead and picked up the armored one as well. Want to give a shout out to my boy Mike from Hot Comics and Collectibles. It's a comic store in Minneapolis. They have 3 different locations. If you're in the area, you should check them out. Cool people, cool shops. So let's take a quick look. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, The Last Ronin. This is the armored version. Barcode is covered up, unfortunately. Window box packaging. Open it up. Here's the armored one on the inside. And here he is. Looks like the accessories are a little bit different than the other one. So can't wait to put them all together. So no further ado, let's open them up. Alright. Now that we got these figures out of the package, here they are with all their accessories laid out. They come with quite a bit of stuff. They are decked out with all the bells and whistles with a bunch of accessories. We have the unarmored Ronin. He comes with Splinter's journal, a Mauser that looks like a pig, a few different blades, 5 alternate hands, totally interchangeable hands, 2 heads, one of Raphael's sai, a weapon here that I believe is called a tonfa, then a broken sword, and his nunchucks. Then the armored version, he has this claw with attached rope, 4 ninja stars, a little smoke bomb or grenade, 4 alternate hands, totaling 6 interchangeable hands, 2 heads, some goggles, a sai, another tonfa, a staff, full sword and sheath, and nunchucks. But before we take a look at those, let's talk about and check out the actual figures. So these are both versions of the Ninja Turtle from The Last Ronin. I personally have not read the story, but as I understand it, it's a what-if potential future story in a post-apocalyptic future where all the other turtles are dead. There's only one remaining. You don't really know who he is at first. Spoiler alert, as I understand it, it is Michelangelo. Honestly, he's the least likely of the 4 turtles to be the last one standing. He's trying to defend the city, carry on their legacy, and he has remnants of some of their old accessories. Sounds like a really cool, kind of depressing and dark story, and that's right up my alley. So let's take a look at him. As you can see, we've got the turtle, typical turtle head. It's done kind of in that artistic style, like it came right out of the comic book. His bandana is black, can't really tell which turtle it is. He doesn't look very happy. Got wrinkles all over him, a little bit older. The sculpted detail is very nice. You can see the sculpting, the paint job, his shells beat up, kind of cracked. Nice sculpted detail on his muscles. Looks like we have double jointed elbows done in NECA's sort of ugly style with that extra piece between the bicep and forearm. He's in sort of a ninja samurai type outfit. Knee pads sure don't match. Utility belt. Shell kind of small compared to his other incarnations of turtle. Looks like he has numerous places to stow his weapons on his belt. Double jointed knees. Looks pretty nice. Now personally, I was much more excited to get the armored version than the unarmored version. He looks cool. He's got the hood on, and it is removable. He's got, I don't know what this thing is on his back, but you can stow some weapons on the side of it. Same knee pads. Looks like same articulation, although he's got these elbow pads between there. Fully clothed. Can't see his shell. Can't see his front. This is the one I was more excited for, but I'm happy to have both of them. And just a closer look at the unarmored face and head sculpt. Looks pretty good. One mildly interesting thing about this figure, he has sort of these liver spots in the back of his head, kind of showing you he's a much older turtle. And here's the armored version. He has his teeth exposed. I think he's supposed to be angry, but it's in the shape of a smile. He has a hood on. And then, here are the figures broken down as far as they can go, with all of their removable parts detached. In this video, we're going to take a look at each of the figures individually. We'll check out their accessories, height, and articulation, and then we'll compare them with a bunch of other action figures. Let's start off with the unarmored version. Here's the unarmored version with all of his accessories laid out. Now let's check out his accessories, and let's start off with his hands. So he's got a total of 7 hands, 3 right hands, and 4 left hands. Here he is with his first pair of hands. These are his fists. Looks like his right fist has a very small hole in it, probably for the blade. Then, his second pair of hands. These are a pair of gripping hands. They'll hold the majority of his weapons. Here's his next pair of hands. These are a pair of open hands. They would look pretty good relaxed at his sides, or maybe karate chopping something. And he's got one additional left hand. This one is pointing with the index finger. Now let's look at his heads. One has a normal expression. One has more of an angry expression. Both the tails or bandanas are removable and interchangeable. Here's his first head. This one has a more normal expression. And here's his alternate head. The teeth are exposed. A little bit more angry. Now let's look at this Mauser. Kind of interesting. It's in the shape of a pig instead of a mouse. It has 0 articulation, but definitely has that Mauser sort of aesthetic to him. Now let's look at Splinter's journal. It'd be nice if this thing would open up, but it doesn't. It's still pretty cool. Got some Asian letters on the front. It's shut, clamp shut. Here's the spine. Nice little book. Now let's look at these small blades. Be careful. Drop one of these things in the carpet and you'll probably never see it again. He has 4 of these small individual blades. Here he is, holding one of those blades. Only one of his hands will accommodate this. I mean, I guess you could sort of fudge it between his fingers and the other hands. So he can hold 2 at once, but they're definitely intended for that fist hand with a real small hole in it. Here's the side that he comes with. He only comes with 1 instead of the traditional 2 or FEL. It's got silver, 3 blades at the top. Nice little wrapper on the handle there. And here he is, holding that sai. And I imagine this front spot is where he's supposed to holster the sai. Here's his tonfa. I sort of describe it as a square staff. Looks kind of like a baton. It's got ridges all over it. Looks like it's made of metal. It's got a handle down here. Here's the turtle, holding that tonfa. Here's his sword. Pretty cool. It's a broken sword. Presumably Leonardo's old sword. Broken at the top. Nice sculpting detail. And then, pretty good looking handle as well. Here he is, holding that sword. And here he is, holstering that sword. Now let's look at his nunchucks. One could say he's an expert at this weapon. The handle here looks like it's wood. It's brown. Then you have this actual chain connecting to 2 pieces. Here he is, holding that nunchuck. And then, holstering those nunchucks. He can holster a sai, sword, and nunchucks all at the same time. Now that we've taken a pretty good look at both the figure and his accessories, now let's check out his height. From bottom to the top of his head, he's standing at about 6.4 inches tall, which is going to translate to about 16 centimeters. Now let's check out his articulation. Starting with his head here, of course, you can rotate from side to side, look up and down about that far, tilt his head from one side to the other. Shoulders on a ball joint, goes out about 90 degrees, up, down, around, all that good stuff. He doesn't have a bicep cut, but he's got rotation at the top of the double jointed elbows Here's the top part going in, and bottom part's kind of obstructed with the armor. You can just stretch it out about that far. Bottom part going in, top part going in. There's also rotation at the bottom. His wrist can rotate, and it's going to be hinged as well. His torso is one solid piece. Ball joint his waist, rotate around, forward and back. Legs go out this far. Does do the splits, not all the way. Ball joints can rotate independently of the ball. They go forward about that far, back not much. Double jointed knees below that. Then his ankle here, forward and back a tiny bit. Rotation, tilt, rock, and that's about it. Now let's look at the armored version. Here he is with all of his accessories laid out. He comes with even more than the other guy. Now let's look at the accessories, and let's start off with his hands. He has a total of 6 hands, 3 left hands, and 3 right hands. Here he is with the first pair of hands. These are his fists. Then his second pair of hands. These are a pair of gripping hands. They should hold most of his accessories. And here's his final pair of hands. These are some open hands. Could be some grabbing hands. Could also look good relaxed at his sides. Now let's look at his heads and his hood. Both the heads have removable bandana tails, interchangeable between both the heads. Both the heads have kind of an angry expression. One has the mouth a little more open. Here he is with his first head. His teeth are exposed. Mouth is kind of open. It's in the shape of a smile, but I'm pretty sure he's angry. Less angry than the other head. And here's his second head. Mouth a little more open. You can see his tongue or gums. Looks like he's angry, maybe screaming, or starting to. Here's his first head without the hood. Then, with the hood attached, Ronin style. Now let's look at his goggles. They kind of have the shape of 3D goggles, the square at the front there. I don't know if they're infrared, if they're red dots there. A little strap here, bendable material. Here he is, with both the hood and the goggles attached. Now let's look at this little bomb. I imagine it's a smoke bomb, but it could be just a regular grenade. Detailing's pretty nice. I can find a lot of uses for this thing. Here's Mike, holding this little bomb. Now let's look at his ninja stars. He has 4 of them. They're all pretty small. Ninja star, a little hole in the middle. Here he is, holding 2 of those ninja stars. They fit in pretty nice with his gripping hands. Here's his claw accessory. We have this silver claw here, and it's attached with a string so we can throw it and retract it. Here he is, holding this claw and rope. Now for some of his other accessories. Here's his sword and sheath. Sword looks pretty good. Silver blade. Nice detail on the handle there. Looks like Leo's sword. And we have this sheath that can actually hold the sword. Here's the sword in the sheath. Here's the turtle holding his sword. And here he is, holstering the sword. Now for his staff. This looks like Donatello's staff. It's wood. It's got a nice wrap where he's going to grip it in the middle. It's pretty long. Here's Ronin holding the staff. He can hold it with either one hand or with 2. And here, holstering or stowing away the staff. Here are his nunchucks. Once again, he's an expert at this weapon. Just like the other one. Wooden handles, metal chain. And here, holding the nunchucks. And then, holstering his nunchucks. Here's his sai. Presumably Raphael's sai. It's got the 3-prong blade. Then, it's got some wrap on the handle. If you have both these figures, you can have 2 sais, just like Raphael. Here's his turtle, holding the sai. And then, holstering the sai. And his last weapon. This is the tonfa. Square shaped, a lot of ridges. A little bit darker than the other one. And here, holding his tonfa like a baton. Now let's check out his height. From bottom to the top of his hood, standing at about 6.5 inches tall, which would translate to about 16.5 centimeters. And now for his articulation. Starting with his head here, Of course, you're going to rotate from side to side. You can look up and down about that far. You can tilt his head a little bit from side to side. Shoulders on a ball joint only goes out a little bit. Maybe some hot water will increase that. Up, down, around, all the good stuff. He's got double jointed elbows. Here's the top part going in, then the bottom part. Rotation at the top, rotation at the bottom. His wrist can rotate, and it's going to be hinged. Torso is one solid piece. Ball joint his waist, rotate around, forward and back. Kind of limited there. Limited on the shoulders too. Legs, they do splits, not all the way. Ball joints, rotate against the ball. They go forward, about that far. Back, not much. Double jointed knees below that. Then his ankle here, forward and back, only a little bit. Rotation, tilt, rock, and that's about it. Here's the last Ronin turtle in an Asian type setting, and a closer look at the two of them, ready for combat. And here's Michelangelo on the couch, petting his pet Mauser, and another image of him on the couch, with all of his gear next to him. Now let's check them out, next to some other action figures, starting off with some other Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle figures. Here they are, next to the 4 movie turtles. These are my favorite version of the turtles out there by any company. They actually look pretty cool. Could almost work as a 5th turtle joining the group. And here they are, next to a set of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from DC Direct's Batman vs. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles animated film line. Then, next to a couple of Playmates Ninja Turtles from the Ninja Turtles crossover with Stranger Things line. Believe it or not, this is Leonardo and Raphael. This is based off some art where they all had the same color bandanas. And here they are, next to the NECA Ninja Turtles crossover with Universal Monsters line. And now, next to a couple of Ninja Turtles dressed up as Batman, we have Donatello as the Dark Turtle, and then Michelangelo wearing the Batman cowl and cape. And then, mild spoiler alert, the last Ronin turtle is Michelangelo. He's the only survivor. Here are all the different Michelangelo figures that I have. Here they are, next to a bunch of other turtles that are not part of the core group of Ninja Turtles. A couple figures of Slash on the left, and on the right side, we've got Toka and Metalhead. Here they are, next to the movie Splinter, who's obviously gone in the timeline here. If I had the Fireplace Splinter, the sort of Mirage or hallucination version, he would be great to go along with these Ronin figures. Here they are, next to a couple of movie Shredder figures from Turtles 1 and 2. Then, next to a couple of movie Foot Soldiers. These guys would look great fighting an army of foot soldiers. And now, next to a couple of animated foot soldiers. Now let's check them out, next to some action figures from different various companies, to see how they fit in both scale and style-wise, in case you don't know which lines you can mix them with. Since these are NECA figures, they're typically the 7-inch scale. I'm going to start off my comparisons with some of the large action figure lines I collect, and work my way smaller. But first, let's check them out with some of their NECA brothers. In front of you are 5 different action figure lines, all from NECA Toys, all 7-inch scale. Then, next to even more NECA figures. And now, next to some Jack-specific wrestling figures. Then, next to an old rusty screwdriver. And here they are, next to some DST or Diamond Select toys. Then, with some McFarlane toys. And here they are, standing with some DC Direct and DC Collectibles figures. Then, next to some Mattel wrestling figures. And now, next to some Jazzwares AEW wrestlers. And here they are, next to some Mezco 112 collective figures. Then, next to some Mattel DC Universe Classics and Multiverse figures. And here they are, with some Mafex figures. Then, with some Hasbro Marvel Legends. And here they are, next to some SH Figure Arts action figures. And finally, next to some Jazzwares Fortnite figures. Overall, these are some really nice figures, but are they necessary for your Ninja Turtle collection? Well, if you're a huge turtle collector, I'd say hell yes. I'm a pretty casual turtle collector. My collection is predominantly Batman related. But when I saw these guys, I was very interested. A post-apocalyptic future, what if, martial arts looking Ninja Turtle seems really, really cool. I like that it's kind of mysterious. You don't necessarily know which turtle this is unless you're familiar with the source material. Their accessories are phenomenal. Sculpt and paint job are great. Articulation is a little bit limited. If I were to rate these guys, I'm going to give the armored version 8 out of 10 and the unarmored version a 7 out of 10. Both very solid releases. So this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked the video, press like below. If you have anything you want to say with the video, add it in the comment section. If you want to see additional action figure reviews from me, press subscribe. I do appreciate when you do that. Once again, this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I will talk to you guys real soon.